Today, let's walk through the steps of how to make a lumbar pillow. Welcome, I do sewing and DIY related content, and today we are going to be making a lumbar pillow. So the best part about this, I'm going to be showing you how to make the actual pillow itself, and then also a sleeve, cover, whatever you'd like to call it, to put on the outside. So the first step is we are going to need to make the actual pillow, or if you want to call it like the bladder that we're going to be holding our stuffing in. So for this, I cut one out that was 18 inches by 15 inches. So just a single piece of fabric that's 18 inches by 15 inches, as then we're going to be folding this up to actually make the pillow shape. I'm using just black cotton that I had on hand. You could really use any fabric you want, as this is going to be inside your pillowcase. So at the end, you're going to have this folded so that the fold is on that long 15-inch end, and then this is actually 9 inches. So we're having a 9 by 15-inch pillow, and I'm going to be sewing up 2.5 of the sides. And what I mean by 2.5 is, you can see where I started pinning there. I'm going to be sewing all the way up and then leaving this opening at this corner. And this is going to allow me to stuff it. So I'm just taking a straight seam all the way around up until where I put my 2 pins to denote for me to stop. And then I'm just going to be trimming off all of this extra fabric and turning it right side out. Next, you're just going to go ahead and stuff your pillow. You could use regular stuffing, you could use beads if you like, whatever is the most comfortable for you. Now, once you stuff it, be sure that you test it out to see, is it firm enough? Do you need it firmer? You need to take some stuffing out. But once you have it to your liking, just go ahead and whip stitch that close. You could also use a machine if you would like to do it this way. You're not actually going to be able to see this part because we have the cover over it. So here is what our pillow looks like. I think that it's going to work really well. So now it is time to add a cover. Now, definitely you could have just stopped with the pillow there and could have just used your pillow as you would like, but I'm going to be making a cover for mine to include little handles. So I'm just laying out my pillow on top of my fabric. I have it folded so there's actually 2 pieces of fabric here, and I'm going to cut out about 3 inches longer than whatever the pillow is. So as you can see here, I have my pillow on my fabric, and then I'm just going to take one of these pieces off and just focus on one piece of fabric for now. So I am going to cut that little extra portion off so that I can have this extra piece of fabric. And the reason we're doing this is we're making a pillowcase that does not have a zipper, so we need to have a sleeve for it to go in and out of. Now I'm going to take this new piece that I have cut, and I'm going to just take that smaller portion, and for that other piece that we had cut earlier, I'm just going to remove that same amount from it. And what this is going to do is one of these smaller rectangles is actually going to be for our sleeve, and then the other one I'm going to be cutting in half. So I'm going to be folding this and then cutting this so that there's 2 pieces, and these are going to be the handles for our pillow. So this is a really great zero waste product in that we are using all of the fabric that we are cutting out. So here we go. I'm just going to be folding these with right sides together and then pinning them up along that long edge so that I can take a nice straight seam. And I'm going to be repeating this for both of these. So this gives me 2 handles on my lumbar support pillow so that I'm just able to easily hold it, bring it wherever I would need. So taking a straight seam along that long edge for both. And then I'm going to be taking now a rolled hem along one edge of this extra piece that I had cut out. So depending on your fabric, you may need to press this. So having that 1/4 of an inch just slightly folded over and then fold that over again. My type of fabric, I was actually able to just finger press this and then pin all of it into place. So I'm doing this for one edge, and then for the other portion that would go with the shorter edge, I'm going to be repeating just one edge of that, folding it over as well, taking a rolled hem. And this is going to allow us so that when we have our sleeve to put our pillow in, we don't have to worry about any raw edges. It's going to have a really nice and clean and neat finish. So now I'm going to sew all of this up, so that shorter piece that I did, as well as the other rectangle, and then sewing up our 2 handles. So now it is time to lay out our pillow covering. So I am just going to be laying out the short rectangle on top of the other rectangle, and then I'm going to put with right sides together the front of the pillowcase onto the back. So the back has those 2 pieces, the front just has 1 piece, and I am just going to be pinning all of this up. So as you can see here, I'm making sure that these 2 panels on the back, so that shorter rectangle and the larger rectangle, they are overlapping. I know that it's a little difficult to see in this video. Right now, there's lots of different angles of this that I'll be showing at different points. So as you can see here, with right sides together, that short rectangle is now matching against the front piece of our pillowcase, and I am just going to be pinning all of this up. Now, the important part when we're going through this is you just want to be sure, like when it comes to sewing, that we are sewing all of these 3 pieces together. So now what I'm going to do is turn my handles right side out. So here's one handle, you can see I've just folded into a little loop, and I am just going to be inserting it into the one short edge of my pillow covering. So if this is the edge that has that short rectangle as well for your sleeve, you want to be sure that you are inserting this handle between the front of your pillowcase and that shorter rectangle. And then I'm just going to be doing the exact same thing with the second handle, turning it right side out, folding it over, and then inserting it between those 2 pieces of fabric with the right sides together. So as you can see here, we have everything is right sides together. So everything is touching, and when we kind of turn this right side out through that little sleeve we have, we can see that it's looking good. So now I'm just going to take a seam all the way around all 4 edges. So it's really important at this point to leave this open. So that opening that we had, you do not want to sew through that, as that is the sleeve to turn this inside out and right side out whenever you're using it and putting it on your pillow. So once you have it all sewn up, just using a straight seam all the way around, just going to cut off any extra fabric, clean this up so it's a lot easier to turn, and then turn this right side out through that opening that we had in the back, since this is a sleeve. And now you can see both of our handles do pop out when we're turning this right side out. Here is what our pillow covering looks like. It looks so cute. I also think the skeletons is a really fun fabric for this. And now you're just going to insert your pillow into the case. So depending on how you do this, it can be very simple. It can take a little bit depending on the sizing. So here is what our pillow now looks like. It looks really cute. It has the handles. It works really well for your back. And you can make a bunch of different patterns if you wanted for different pillowcases. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see next. Do you want more pillow content? Let me know. Thanks for watching.